Hi everyone, Mo here, and welcome to my March 2022 sketchbook flip through. So this month I managed to make a cover, and right after I finished making it, I felt it was too much and now I can't stand it. But since it's done, I am simply going to live with it. Accept it for what it is. It was very unnecessary, but never mind. So this one was the one I did on the 1st of March, and this was done with a ballpoint pen, average, those ballpoint pens that you buy for back to school. And it was really fun. And I have seen people create amazing artwork with just that supply, which, sometimes as artists, we feel that having the best tool, the right tool, of course it makes a difference, no denying that, but the magic is not in the tool. It's a hard realization, and it's hard to accept sometimes, but it is what it is. And yeah, I really enjoyed the how the pen glides on the paper, and I probably cannot do any of my formal assignments in that way, but it was really fun to explore that. And I'm probably going to do it again. And this was, I have not used wet medium on these sketchbooks before. I just did it. I did not use a whole lot of water. This is acrylic paint. This came about from when I was painting for the show, the May show that I keep talking about. Sometimes I just wiped off my leftover paint, and instead of doing it on scrap pieces of paper, which then we all make into collage fodder and all that, I just decided I made a very quick sketch, and I started just coloring around it. And when I was done with the canvas, I was also done with this piece. And I think it was something like we were thinking of St. Patrick's Day, which was 15 days away still, but that's what was dominating in my mind, trending in my mind, and hence the four-leaf clovers. And this is my daughter. This is a piece of onion peel, and I was cooking and she was sitting next to me. She's very curious, as most 7-year-olds are, and she picked this up and said, "Mommy, take a picture of me." And I did, and later I painted it. It was quick. And this was just something, again, I just wiped off a blob of blue paint onto this, and with no clue this time what I'm going to do with the rest of it. But I kept the sketchbook on my desk next to my canvas, and whenever paint came up, I wiped it. And by the end of the night, before I went to bed, I had some Payne's Gray. It's PAYNE' gray, and I had a little left over, and I just decided, you know what, let's make a random little face. And this was something I was dealing with someone, and while whatever their behaviors were super annoying and inappropriate, I also felt that there was an underlying vulnerability to their choices of words and actions. And I had to deliberately not react match their actions and reactions, and simply, but it did loom in my mind throughout the day and for the next few days. And at the end of it, I was happy that I wasn't matching it, because sometimes, getting even is not making progress. But I'll tell you, I felt upset regardless. I had to reason with myself. Again, another one of those blobs. Obviously, you can see I was working on a painting with lots of blues in them. And when that was done, I remembered my dad used to bring my mom bunches of tube roses because that was her favorite flower. And on any occasion, tube roses are very common in bouquets in India, and he would simply just pick up a whole bunch, 10, 12 sticks, and just bring it back on his way if the flower shop was still open, and he would just get her a bunch, and she would drop everything and find a bus for it. It was very sweet. And I'm sure this technically does not look like tube roses very much, but that's the memory I had. And kind of it feels dreamy in that sense. Yeah, more trees. More trees. It's like drawing trees. I could lose myself for hours in drawing trees and their limbs and everything. And there was a part of this month, I'm like first 15 days or so, I don't remember the exact range of this month, when I had decided that, if I go stop by a shop where I don't need to buy something, I am not going to buy it. I'm going to look around, enjoy what is there, and if I really like something, I might take a picture if I can't remember, or if something impressed me, just to study those objects and then come home and draw it. In some way, I have the item in that sense, but it's not. What I'm trying to say is I tried not to entertain every passing impulse to make a purchase as a consumer. Instead, I took that experience and saw it with the eyes of an artist who observed mindfully and recreated from memory. So this was this beautiful bookends, and they were not expensive. For the beauty they held, they were not expensive, but I can find 100 places in my house where I can use them, but I chose not to. Instead, I drew it, and I'm kind of proud of that. And of course, with Easter coming, there are all kinds of bunnies, and these were wooden egg bunnies. If I could get the perspective correctly, it's like an egg on the side and a smaller egg on the top, and like that. So I really loved it. Again, could have bought it, didn't do. Instead, I drew it. And I had to take my daughter. She recently started gymnastics, and her legs have been hurting, a certain part of the leg, and that is not the first time she complained about it. So I took her to the doctor's office, and while we were waiting, and she was sitting on the examination table, this is what she looked like doing that, waiting patiently for the doctor to come in. And later I just drew that. I did take a picture, and I referred to that picture for the drawing. And this was a fun little assessment about, how fulfilled are you? I can't remember where I saw it, unfortunately. I wish I had made a note. But yeah, what she was saying and what I remembered of it, I just did it in my way. After that, the categories were presented, and it was a very nice experience. And based on that, it was like, a webinar. And then I was making that. And it was more soul-searching than doing, really. And I found that, I think if I remember correctly, it was about, what do you need to give yourself the most? And after quite a bit of thinking, and she was making various suggestions. And I came to this healing around deservingness. It's like we all at some point in our lives struggle with this, and sometimes it's just the underlying theme of every action, every word that we say or do, and the feelings that we feel, that we don't claim our full worth. We all are taught to dim our lights, fit in. So that runs deep in all of us, regardless of what country, what culture you are from, what age you are. We have all our insecurities and vulnerabilities and not feeling enough. At every stage of life it changes, but I don't know if it ever goes away. Hasn't gone away for me. So something I thought about, if people offered something to me, I would hesitate and immediately wonder how I can give something back to them, or sometimes gratitude is enough. And sometimes, most of the time when I'm giving something, I'm not really expecting to get something back from it. And I'm sure everybody else is like that too. Obviously, depends on the interaction. However, I felt a lot of the times we feel dissatisfied because we don't ask for what we need. We resist receiving what is being offered. And that does, at the deepest core of it, I think there is that question of deservingness. Who am I? Am I even worth it? Am I even enough? And all those. And I feel we all have some of that. Even if we had wonderful parents, we might have had teachers who were critical, friends who were not so nice. We all do this to each other, and we all suffer from it as well. And most of the time we are not even conscious. I doubt that most people do it deliberately to hurt somebody, but things said in the passing, things said in fun, sometimes leave very deep scars. Anyway, away from serious topic, this is a pop-up. It's actually, this thing splits open, and it's a lollipop container. I mean, if you opens, the lollipop goes in. There is a tube in which you place the lollipop. So you're not wrapping it back in the original paper, because most of us just throw that away right away, and it keeps your lollipop clean. I thought it was a hilarious item, I don't think lollipops are healthy either. But I have children. Sometimes allowing those fun things that they see everybody else enjoy is good as well. And this is Shopkins. It is much bigger than real life. But it is one of those collections that's building momentum in my house. Another Shopkins. And this, my kid has a group of friends who are also into the same things. And sometimes they would trade. It would trade, meaning they would bring it for a week and play with it and then give it back the next week, or those exchanges happen. I don't step into that because these are transactions children need to learn. Real life lessons. What to give, what to take, how to respect other people's things, and all of those. And this is again her. I got her a tiny little necklace that was those balloon animals. I saw it in a necklace. It's in a little tiny little pendant. And I thought of her because she loves our dog. And it did look like a poodle to me. So I got it, and it's much smaller in real life in proportion to her. But I wanted to capture that first, and then I built her around it, wearing the necklace. Again, this is graphite pencil. And it's like a slight bluish tinge. That's color pencil. And these are kids at the playground. Quick sketches, not very many details. And spirograph. I got my youngest a spirograph, and we got like almost 30 little patterns, and she gave me a few of them to try, and these are so addictive. I could fill many sketchbooks just with the spirographs. And this is like there was a flower, fresh flower, maybe it fell off when somebody was passing through, whatever. It was dislodged from its plant and it was on the ground. I picked it up. I put it inside a catalog to flatten the flower. I didn't want such a beautiful thing to just be, trampled on. And then I drew it. So my friend, she sent me a picture. She knows I'm a tree fan. So she sent me this one, this picture of her standing. She was in Senegal at the moment. And these are called baobab trees. And if I'm saying it wrong, I'm very sorry. I don't know how to say it better. But her picture, she was like so tiny. And then I read a little bit about the trees. And it's across from her house. She's getting a house built there, and this tree is across from the street from her house. And she stood there and had a picture taken just to show me the scale of the tree, and it's mesmerizing. I looked at these trees, and then I Googled it, and I saw many more, and those shapes are even very interesting, but this one was like so massive, and I had to draw it, of course. Again, little flowers coming up as spring is coming near. Again, washed up paint. Same for the tree. It's like if I look up, when there are in winter, when there are no leaves on these trees, and if you look up at them, the whole overlapping of the little branches, it's like a delicate canopy. It's so beautiful. If a few of those trees next to each other, you are now looking at the sky through a canopy filter. Same here, studying all the textures of trees and the barks. This reminds me of things I used to draw and paint when I was in first grade, maybe younger. Yeah. And then we went on a walk on one of the warm days and saw the sky, and the sky changes so much between the hours of 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. It's like, this is just how the darkness falls. It's such an amazing experience if you're able to see it in a place where there is enough sky to look at. It's an amazing experience. And it's every day. You can see it every day. And every day it's different, moment to moment. And the sky was such a color. Like all the details were meaningless because the color was such this purplish mauve color. I love it. Oh, you can see I'm wearing one. And it reminds me of a purse my mom used to have. It was I used to play with it. It was so old, she stopped using it. And anytime she would let me hold it, touch it, it was like, ooh, it was a reward. And there was this creative bug was having this, what do you call those things? Zoom craft meets. It lasts about an hour or so, and this time they were making papier-mâché fruits and vegetables, and where I was watching from, I didn't have the supplies, so I couldn't really make along with them, but I did make these quick sketches for all the ideas that came to me while I was watching. Ooh, and there goes Shopkins. Since we are buying practically all of them, maybe not all of them, but large enough number that I could use them as my life drawing objects. So I did this. These are so cute. I mean, I can show you. Like, I just got a box. It's a collector's box. The box is just a plastic box, but you know, it's like, oh, how do I open this again? Never mind. Okay. Yeah, so these are the things. These are the, oops. Okay, so this is the IC, and then inside it is this. I don't know if you can see it, but it's so cute. Might as well draw them, because sometimes people are at a loss, people meaning including myself, not leaving myself out of it. We are at a loss as to what should we draw. What could we draw today? And what is working for me, and I'm simply sharing it not as an expert or anything, just as what's working for me, is to draw. No matter what you draw, drawing it is what matters. And if you are trying to capture the details in, like, if you want to, you could be photorealistic, you could be simply capturing the essence in a far more abstract form. However you choose to do it, do it. That's like, you know, just do it. That is so true. If it wasn't true, if it hadn't rang true in many, many hearts, that saying would not have lasted as long as it has. And these are all the little Shopkins. It's like, I just had so much fun. And we were watching Tintin, The Adventures of Tintin and Up. And while I have a very hard time just sitting with hands on my lap and doing nothing. I mean, it feels like a disease or something. I don't know. But I just take my sketchbook and draw things that do not require a lot of attention from me. That I'm still focused on the movie. I'm still focused on enjoying the movie with my daughter. But I am also doing something on the side that I would say enhances my experience of watching the movie. And this was her. She was very engrossed in watching a show in which they were making some party decorations, and I just wanted to draw her while she was so focused. I like how it turned out. It's just like the very focused look on her little face. And that is my March sketchbook. I don't like the cover, but this is my March sketchbook, okay? I will see you in April with another sketchbook flip through, provided I can make the time to at least begin one, if not finish it. And the sketchbook revival is still going on. I had posted in my previous vlog, last week's vlog, a link to that. You can still sign up and you can still get access to all the sessions. And it's absolutely free. If I can manage to do it, I will probably refer to some of those lessons in my April sketchbook, so I can have my own take on what is being taught by other artists. I love learning from other artists. So yeah, we'll see how it goes and how it all turns out. Until then, bye-bye.